and he was topped out on a Hindalco as well as a Bharti Airtel. But as you can see on your screen, we've got the management of Mahindra Satyam as well as Tech Mahindra ready to address the media in just a few moments from now regarding that mega merger that has taken place, and it was announced in the day today. So as per the details of the merger, now Mahindra Satyam shareholders will be getting, for every 17 shares, pardon me, that they hold in Mahindra Satyam, they will be getting 2 shares of Tech Mahindra, and the share swap ratio then in this respect works out to about 8.5 to about 2 times. So the management there, of course, getting ready to address the media in just about a short while from now, but the much awaited merger finally has gotten through, and you can see that stock price reaction also coming through. Mahindra Satyam, after a good start to the day, we are seeing that one peter off and it's low by about 0.1%. Tech Mahindra as well is looking rather buoyant. Do remember, the merged entity and the combined entity in fact will become the 5th largest IT company in India. In fact, they would have combined revenues of close to 12,000 crore rupees. Not just that, a big change in the mix, in the revenue mix, is also what's expected. In fact, it's expected that for Tech Mahindra specifically, which had a predominantly telecom focus, the revenue mix would also change. In fact, not just that, in terms of geographies as well, we would see a substantial change coming in there. So for the merged entity, the joint contribution now from the Americas would be at about 40%, Europe would continue to contribute about 35%, and emerging markets exposure, that would also increase substantially for the company and will come in at about 23%. In terms of the joint shareholding and the public shareholding, what it would stand at, the Mahindra Group will end up owning about 26% in the combined entity. British Telecom, which was one of the big partners as well as the promoters of Tech Mahindra, their shareholding in fact will come to about 12%. Let's cut across.
Mr. Gurnari and Mr. Jana. Media friends, thank you very much for coming for this media conference at such a short notice. And I also take this opportunity to thank my friends from Hyderabad who are joining us by VC. And without wasting much time, just one point that as all of you are aware, this is a milestone development for both the companies, which is Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam. And Mr. Vineet Nair will throw some light on the developments that is taking place post the board meeting today. I hand over the mic to Mr. Vineet Nair.
Good morning, folks. As you recognize, this is a fairly important milestone in the history of our two companies. It was almost 3 years ago that we were successful in acquiring Satyam. At that point of time, we had said that this is a marriage made in heaven, because there were huge strengths in Satyam and considerable strengths in TechM, but it was the complementarity which made it so important. We had also said that our first task in Satyam is to nurse it back to health. We had said that it will take possibly a period of 3 years. By that time, we would be able to get rid of all the legal liabilities which attach to Satyam, especially the external ones, all the issues with the SEC. We would be able, we would hope to recover our customers, and we will be able to bring the company to a level of profitability which is at industry level. We have been fortunate that on account of focused dedication of the associates and the leaders of Satyam, that we have achieved all the targets we set up for ourselves. Having reached the level which we thought we will in 3 years, it was only appropriate that now we initiate the process of merger. Both the companies appointed accountants and investment banks to give fair value of the two companies' equity. Those reports were presented to the boards of both the companies this morning, and the board accepted the recommendation of two different investment bankers, namely Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, and two accountants, KPMG and EY. And on that basis, we have agreed, the board agreed to a swap ratio of 8.5 Satyam shares for one Techem share. So this has been accepted, and now we will proceed further in seeking the approval of the shareholders of both the companies. Once that has been achieved, we hope to take it to the High Courts of Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra for getting their approval. Once that is done, we would legally have merged the two companies. Net, we anticipate that this process will take 6 to 9 months, and today the first step has been taken. Next aspect which we need to talk about is what does it really do for the company, for these two companies. I think suddenly, with the merger of these two companies, we will have revenue which is little shy of $3 billion. This will bring us into the category of big boys. That's one. Two, there are certain areas where we had the leadership. In telecom, we had the leadership. In enterprise space, Satyam had the leadership. So, there would be areas where we would hope to be possibly the leaders in the country going forward. And that is what we will bank on, that is what we will work on, and I do believe, and I expect CP to talk more about it. Once these two companies are merged, we will be focusing on areas like telecom, mobility, enterprise space, engineering, and our objective would be to take on the national leadership in these areas. So personally, I'm delighted by today's decision. This is what we have been working for the last 3 years. We have reached the first level of goal. So, as somebody wrote in a blog, it is Techem Satyam Sundaram. And so I think that really sums it all up. And we would be working now to the power of one, as one company. CP?
So thanks, Vineet. And I guess, when we started this journey in April 2009, and to most of you in the media community would remember that we had projected a 3-year journey for Mahindra Satyam. We had talked about the stabilization phase, we had talked about the investment phase, we had talked about the growth phase. And that over the last 6 quarters at Mahindra Satyam, we have been able to consistently show improvement in performance over the 6 quarters. And as we look into the market, we have been always talking about Tech Mahindra's ownership of Mahindra Satyam shares, that eventually the glue and the binder is the diversified Mahindra group, and that we as a company would not only like to be recognized for technical solutions, but to be recognized for business solutions. And I strongly believe that this combination of Mahindra Group, Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam coming together, and that today, that it's not only a historic moment for some of us, but I think it is a historic day for all 75,000 employees of Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam, because in a lot of ways we know that 75,000 employees working in 54 countries with 350 plus customers and many customers in Fortune 100, all looking for business solutions. And those business solutions are, number one, is it communications? Is it network? Is it enterprise business solutions? It is engineering services? Or is it infrastructure management? Or is it business operations? And I think us coming together, we not only now have the enablers, but we can leverage into new age technologies like M2M, mobility, cloud, security services, and we clearly are now in a position to give a lot better value proposition to our customer base and to our prospect base. I clearly know that in a way we can call it a new beginning. 3 years ago, it was a start of a journey. Some of us are very happy and proud on what both Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam have achieved during these 3 years. But I think it's clearly a new beginning. And our feeling is that as the businesses start demanding more from devices to communication infrastructure to enterprise solutions, we would be able to offer a much better service offerings. So, in terms of timeline, Vineet, you have already shared. I mean, at an outset, we think it will take 9 months. Yes, there are processes. Both the boards have blessed it. Now we will go for our AGMs, and we will be going in for the regulatory approvals. So we clearly know that while this process goes on, we will start virtualizing our service offerings to the extent we can work within the boundaries of being two separate public limited companies. We will start virtualizing our operations. We will start virtualizing our, go-to-market. And our belief is that this particular exercise, this time, while we go through the formal approvals, we will continue to focus on our customers, we will continue to focus on our people, and we will continue to focus on growth.
Thank you, CP. I think the forum is now open for Q&A. One small request, before you ask your questions, please identify yourself. And yeah.
This is Ritesh here from Z Business. So first question, firstly congratulations to the whole board because after 3 years you're finally able to get this thing done. But the main question, two questions, sir. ब्रांडिंग को लेके किस तरह की बदलाव किए जाएंगे? विल महिंद्रा सत्यम का जो ब्रांडिंग है वो रहेगा या टेक महिंद्रा का ब्रांडिंग किस तरह से चेंजेस किए जाएंगे? सेकेंडली, एज फार एज द मैनेजमेंट इज कंसर्न, इस पूरे डिसीजन में क्या जो माइनॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर्स हैं उनको क्या कंसल्ट किया गया है, स्पेशली द ब्रिटिश टेलीकॉम?
जहाँ तक ब्रांडिंग का प्रश्न है, इस पे सोच विचार किया जाएगा. अभी 8-9 महीने हैं. We don't also want to create confusion in the market with 3 brands floating around, and we will come to a conclusion. It will be done professionally, and a decision will be made, and it will be communicated. Insofar as BT is concerned, they have always been kept in the loop.
But sir, what's the management structure which I asked, the new management structure which we talked about is an employee also?
Yes, the new management structure, we have already started work on it, of integration at various levels, parity of grades and stuff like that, and on leadership, and the announcements will be made as soon as it is finalized and the board approves it.
Mr. Nair, there is expectation that Satyam brand is going to take a back seat. That is the expectation post the merger. Is that something that the management is looking at?
Management will look at it only once we get advice from our professional consultants, which we will appoint. Once we get the advice, we will deliberate and take a view.
But what's your sense? Is it a negative sort of a baggage, Satyam brand for the company right now, or do you think you can leverage a lot on that also?
If we felt it was negative, we would not have kept Mahindra Satyam as a name. Satyam in many ways encapsulates great strengths. There were certain weaknesses which arose because of the limited number of people in the management. But in any case, the two companies are going to become one, so it has to be one name. What that name is going to be, that's not something I can talk about now because I haven't got the advice from the consultants. As and when we get it, we will take a view on it.
Just one question for Sanjay.
Sanjay, in terms of margins, excluding the amortization of revenue, where do margins for the combined stand now? Give us a sense about BT concentration now. The stake has come down, the concentration of BT has come down, considering that they have been consolidating their position. This is a positive. Give me a sense of that on that front.
Just a second before you answer the question. One small request to all your friends. Our media friends from Hyderabad also joining us. For every 2 questions that go from Bombay, 1 question will come from Hyderabad. That also gives them an opportunity. Nisha, after Hyderabad, please.
Right, thank you. Thank you, BN. And we have Mr. Kurmanath from Business Line. Please go ahead with your question, sir.
Mr. Gurnani,
Yes.
what could be the level of redundancy in terms of staff and customers?
I think again, I can only share with you that I expect zero redundancy in staff. As a matter of fact, as you have noticed that both the companies are on a growth path. Number 2 is both the companies have stated that they would be looking at inorganic growth. And number 3 is that I expect, frankly, a net addition of people as we continue on the trajectory, and I expect zero redundancy. Similarly, on a customer side, again, I pray to you and to the customers that I only want to grow my customer base, and I'm definitely not looking at redundancies there.
Bombay, please.
Sanjay should answer.
Yeah. So, just to pick up your points, your first question was around the EBITDA levels. As you know, if you look at the last quarter, EBITDA levels were similar. Both organizations have some levers to improve those EBITDA margins, and as always, there will be different headwinds against that. Taken together, I think it throws up some opportunities for the combined company. The repositioning opportunity that comes is one from scale itself, then the complete footprint of offerings, the ability to optimize operating metrics better. So certainly bringing together brings some new levers for us to improve margins. Moving on to your second question on the BT side, clearly BT concentration, which is around 35% in Tech Mahindra just now, will come down in the combined entity. It will remain a significant and important customer for us, and we will continue to compete for business there and look to improving the value we deliver to that customer and the value that we deliver to ourselves in the process of doing business with them.
Is it EPS dilutive, Sanjay? Is it EPS?
Can we ask one by one, please? There's too much of commotion. Yeah.
So I can give you the percentage shareholding of
the revenue contribution of EPS.
Sorry? BT, if you look at the last 12-month data, it will come down to around, the largest customer will become something like 18-19%. What's the question on EBITDA level? So again, if you look at the last quarter, if you put them together, the EBITDA levels will be around 17%. So a trust is going to hold around 10% of the merged entity, and as you know, as always, what treasury stock enables a company to do is, for growth purposes, create liquidity, at a faster pace. Yes. The rest of the shares will be cancelled. The rest of the shares in the merger process will get cancelled. So we looked at, whether as a company there was, from a strategic perspective, it was important for us to create these treasury shares, and we came to conclusion, yes, so that it would allow us to, at short notice, create liquidity for any investment opportunities that came our way. This is always a judgment as to how much is required, how much is not. The best judgment was that 10% of the combined entity was an appropriate number for what we needed to do and plan for the future. That's the basis on which we came to this.
35 million shares in the capital.
Yeah.
And Sanjay, how is it going to be EPS dilutive in the first year, or is there a timeline for that? And as far as the impact, I mean, will you be able to recover it through the synergies? If you can take us through that.
I didn't understand your question.
Will this merger be dilutive as far as?
No, the merger will not be dilutive, because we are just bringing the two companies together, okay? And whether the merger gives us opportunity for the future, clearly we all believe that it provides us the platform for the next level of growth and enhancing performance. And the basis on which we will be able to do that is what Vineet and CP were talking about. The fact that scale itself provides some opportunities, whether it is opposite at the customer end in terms of bringing to bear a larger sales force, having a stronger presence, having a complete footprint of offerings, or the fact that the capabilities of the two companies, which are complementary but different, can be leveraged across a wider customer base. The combination of these, we certainly believe, is going to provide us a platform for enhancing performance for the future.
And the treasury stock that has been created, is there any clarity on how you're going to use it in future, for what plan?
So, with treasury stock, the only thing that, if there was something specific that we needed to do, we would have announced it, but this is an enabler for future investment opportunities.
Yeah, can we have a question from Hyderabad, please?
Yes, we have Mr. Ramana from DNA. Mr. Ramana, please go ahead.
Yeah, maybe this is a question for CP. Sir, there are two questions. One, basically, are there any verticals in which you would cease to operate post the merger? Two, what's been the decision on these pending legal issues like the 1,230 crore claim by Raju companies or Aberdeen or even the IT case?
Ramana, what was your first question?
On whether there are any verticals in which you cease to operate post the merger.
I think again, as I said, that effort of both the organizations would be that while there is a legal merger process being pursued, wherever it is possible within the realms of operating under two separate public entities and being able to virtualize the two companies, we will virtualize. I strongly believe that the power of this merger is in bringing connected devices, connectivity and networks at the forefront of our enterprise solution offerings, and we will definitely bring in better value propositions to our customers. There is practically no overlap in the verticals, and out of the 350 customers that I spoke about, maybe there is an overlap in 2 or 3 customers that we will define rules of the road in guidance with the Chief Legal Counsel, so that we are able to give a unified face to the client, at the same time protect the interest of our employees in both the companies and our service offerings. That's the first part. And Ramana, the second part of your question is some of those legal cases. Yes, those 1 or 2 legal cases particularly related to taxation or the 37 companies. The management of Mahindra Satyam is contesting those claims, and those claims will continue to be contested by the combined company, and I strongly believe that either I don't expect them to get resolved so soon, but if they do, that's very good. But Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam merger does not change our stand vis-a-vis those claims.
Thank you, Hyderabad. Mumbai, please.
Okay, that's the all-important conference regarding the merger between Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam. Largely, they did enumerate all of the details that have already been given out, but additionally, they said that it will take all in all 3 years to nurse the company back to health. The areas of focus will be telecom, mobility, engineering, for which they hope to get national leadership, and the merger will take 6 to 9 months. Both the stocks, as we speak, in the green, quiet for Mahindra Satyam.